Welcome back to Living with the Classics. A bit late in the evening here. I just came back from about a 200-kilometer drive with the trusty old Saab and a trailer to pick up a cheap XK engine. I don't really know anything about it more than he said it turned over. He got us a spare engine with his project car, but it came pretty complete with an intake and carbs. So I thought, for 250 bucks, can't go wrong. Just pulled it off the trailer here, see if I can unload it and get it in here, and then maybe we can have a look at it. Got some light in here. In the back of the horse trailer, we have an XK engine. Because I don't really know anything about it, but I can see a couple things missing. We got vent tube missing there, and a few other small things. Now I'm gonna get my wife to help me try and get this thing out of here. Once it's in the workshop, we can take a closer look at it. Next morning out here in the workshop, ended up being really late last night, so just went to bed. I didn't move the engine and uncovered it. I just looked over it briefly, but let's have a look at it together, sort of see what I got. I also got a box of bits, so we'll have a look at that also. See, was it worth a 3-hour drive, on a late evening in the rain? Saab did really well though, so very proud of that. Good beater car, that car. But let's see what the engine looks like, and just forgot if I mentioned it yesterday or not. It was an ad on Facebook. I believe it was on the Swedish Jaguar Owners Club website. It's a member of the club that I'm a member of as well. Had it up for sale. Just wanted to get rid of it really quickly, and that's why I think the price was what it is. But we'll talk about it in a bit. I think it was a fair price as well, because you never know with these engines if you can restore them or not. I mean, it is a Series 2 engine, I believe. They are prone to crack between the liners. So this could be a completely useless engine, or it could be a good engine. So it's a complete gamble. But let's have a look at what I got. Now it's uncovered. I only saw some pictures of it before, I think before we had it covered. And all I could see was that it looks like a Series 2 engine, at least a setup. Could be a Series 3 block as well. It has a pretty late serial number. I'm not the best at these serial numbers, but it does start with an 8L. I believe that the earlier Series 2s were 7L. The Series 3 engine, which is a late one when I looked up the serial numbers on my XJ6, and it starts with an 8L as well, if I remember correctly. But I may look up that, or if you're good with these serial numbers, you can let me know. And here is it on the head as well. But overall, pretty complete. Missing a couple things. So what I have found that's missing, of course, is it doesn't have a distributor. It does have a water pump actually, which does actually turn. So missing a distributor, but the drive is in there, and it's missing the oil filter housing along with the lines that go up to the camshafts. So on later series, I'm not sure if it's all Series 2, but Series 3, and I think most Series 2s have the lines going on this side of the engine, and the earlier engines had the lines going down here. So definitely does seem to be a later engine, so probably Series 2 or maybe a Series 3. Other than that, he said it does turn over, so I think we should try that in a little bit. I did also get a box of bits. I did get a complete set of carbs for it, along with the AED, and they look to be in reasonable condition. Should definitely be restorable. Missing some screws and things, but it's a good thing to have. I have a couple sets of these now, so kind of happy to have another set. You never know what can happen, so it's good to have 3 extra sets of those. But let's grab some tools and just see if it turns over, sort of, and then we'll pull the plugs and see what they look like. Alright, let's see. I haven't checked this, but he said it did turn over. Yeah, it turns over, and I can hear compression leaking out. I don't think the spark plugs are in fully, but yeah, let's do a full rotation. So we're at 0 here on the crankshaft damper. It does turn over very easily. I'm not saying it doesn't have any compression, but it does just, there's no binding spots. nothing like that. It does turn over nicely. This is not the correct size socket. It's a little bit too big, but it's what I can find at the moment. Alright, that's a good start at least. It turns over. That also means disassembling it, if I ever do that, would be a lot easier with an engine that does turn over. Okay, we're missing a spark plug and we got broken ones. I have a feeling he just put in some plugs he had laying around. So I have no idea if pulling these will actually show anything at all. But quite a bit of dirt on that. A little bit of dirt on that. A little bit on that as well. Okay, they're all even. Not sure if they come from this engine at all. But yeah. Not seeing any signs of any weird weeping or leaking anywhere. So this doesn't look like any external head gasket leaks or anything. And see if I can show you guys down in here. If you look at the exhaust ports, they all look even. None of them is sort of steam cleaned or anything. So I don't think it had a bad head gasket. Let's see. This is snapped off here. I'll get a rubber mallet, see if we can get that off. Let's see. That is that's nice and clean inside. Still some oil up in there, mixed with a little bit of moisture, but you don't know if this thing's been stored outside or not, so that doesn't seem too weird. But I don't see any rust or anything on the camshaft in there. And the lobe feels nice and smooth. So overall, I don't think this is too bad. Let's see, I have a small little borescope. It's not a great one, but let's have a look inside the cylinder, see if we can see anything at all. You know, you can see holes and pistons or anything like that. But yeah, let's have a brief look. Got my little endoscope here. It's just a cheap one, USB that plugs into the laptop over there. So you can see the screen there. But let's start with cylinder number 1. And got a lot of carbon on top of that piston. And it seems to be very much at the top. So it's so hard to see the walls. But looks like there's no holes in it at least. And that one is much cleaner inside. And we've got some ridge or line over there. Maybe. Sort of hard to tell. Let's have a look at number 1 again. Quite carbony, or maybe, oh, probably carbony. Number 3. Also pretty nice and clean. Maybe a little bit too clean again there on the side. Maybe this thing did suffer head gasket failure. Hard to tell. Number 4. I think we're seeing part of the valve up there. Once again, it's also very clean. Sort of on one side there on the piston. Number 5. Also pretty clean on one side there. Number 6 is also going to be at the top. So let me rotate the engine a little bit so we can get number 6 and number 1 down at the bottom. So I will rotate it just a bit. There, that should be enough. Back to number 1. Oh yeah, that one looks exactly the same as the other one. It's just when it was all the way up top, you can just see the dome. I mean, there's some dirt and debris in there. I definitely want to try and blow that out. But hey, not too bad. So they all look pretty much the same. So I'd say that the results aren't really too bad. I mean, I haven't seen anything majorly wrong with it so far, besides it's missing a few parts. There's a little bit of moisture in the oil up top, but that could just be from, it was raining yesterday when I picked it up, and maybe it's outside for a little bit. I don't know. But overall, not too bad. So you may be wondering why I picked this up. Well, I don't plan on putting it straight in the car or anything like that, but I felt like it's a good thing to have because I noticed when looking for a spare engine for my XJ6, which has a crack or something in the block, that finding one is not the easiest thing. So finding an engine that may be restorable, I think is a good thing. You'll never know until you take it apart if it has cracks between the liners and it may need to be welded and things like that. But if you're lucky, it could be a good engine. And you know, for the money, it felt like it's worth the gamble. But I have an idea, so you guys can vote. Let me know what you think. Should I build sort of a rudimentary engine stand for it? Put a spare bell housing on it, a spare starter, some other things I have laying around. I think I have everything laying around to make this a complete engine. And should we see if it fires up? Do that as a bit of a Christmas special here on the channel. See if it has oil pressure, see if it even has any compression. I think it does. The spark plugs were just finger tight in like 2 or 3 threads, and I heard air or compression whooshing past them, and I felt that when I turned it over. So let me know, would that be a fun thing to see? It's not something I would do right away at the moment because I'm busy with a few other things, pulling 2 XK engines and a lot of other things, but maybe in a month or so I could get this done and we could have it, you know, by Christmas or New Year as a bit of a, you know, a fun end of the year celebration here on the channel. Let me know if that's something you want to see in the comments down below. So, you know, bit of a different video, but this just popped up and I thought, you know what, I want to share this with you guys. And also because the transport of my new car got a little bit delayed. It's supposed to be here 2 days ago. I think it arrives tomorrow, so I have a bunch of videos planned with that thing. But it should arrive tomorrow, and you should see a video up on it very soon. I'm very excited to share my new project car with you guys. Anyways, if you like this video, please give a thumbs up, share it with your friends. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help out a lot. Until next time, I'm Adam, and this was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.